So he started off as rehabilitation for a shoulder injury and had also put on a little bit of body fat.
I started training Brad about 3 years ago. He came to me with no training experience and a goal of, in his own words, looking less like an unhappy estate agent.
In the process of fixing my shoulder, I started to lose some body fat, and once I saw those results, I wanted to see how far I could take it.
He took to it well, and we spent 8 months laying down some solid foundations, showing Brad the level of work and dedication required to see tangible results. Since that initial phase, we've trained on and off, but nothing ever quite as regimented. I know Brad well, he's classic all or nothing. With lockdown restrictions in place, i.e. no bars open up north, this presented us with a great opportunity. I know how Brad ticks, so I knew he'd need to see the physical results as soon as possible, otherwise I'd lose him. I've seen it so many times. Once someone actually sees their body physically changing through the work they put in, they're in. That's when you have their trust, and more importantly, they start to believe in themselves. But this is not as easy as it sounds.
So the hardest thing about it is getting through those days where you just can't be asked. I think you've just got to have blind faith and trust in the process.
I needed Brad to reduce his body fat by at least 10% to see it physically. So the plan was simple. We had to fix his shoulder and get his body fat down. I knew that once he could see it, he'd be hooked. This transformation process took just 12 weeks, but it's important to remember that to get these kind of results in that kind of time frame, you need to be primed and ready. The client must understand exactly what is required of them. Sacrifices will need to be made. It demands a solid mental commitment and to have certain habits in place that do take time to acquire. Plus, they need to have the drive to train with serious intensity. And then to make a person pop visually, it's essential to have a fair amount of existing muscle tissue to work with. Because we've worked together over time, Brad had all this in place. He was perfectly primed. I love working with people like Brad, who want to be pushed as far as they can, but also push me as a coach to get the kind of results that stand out.
I look good, I feel good, and I'm proud of what I've achieved.